keep on talking about the importance of collaborating with both the government and also together with the private sector. We're doing that right now with PASCO. What are your suggestions as well that you've seen as best practices on how we can better collaborate with the government in ensuring that it's not only self-regulation, but there are higher goals, the goals of the UN Sustainable Goals. There's also the WHO goals to make sure that it's good for the well-being of people. What's the best? What have you seen as best practices?
Absolutely, absolutely. So at the global level, right, with the WHO, as I mentioned earlier, that they, as part of the global strategy, they also recognize the importance of incorporating the private sector in tackling harmful use of alcohol, right? And to Attorney's point about making sure that people are well educated and well informed about the harmful effects, potential of excessive drinking. So that is extremely critical, right? What we can do more, just to bring out some of the examples. When you mentioned about the mass media, definitely marketing plays an important role, and that's why we have put in place the marketing code that does not endorse any behaviors that seems to promote excessive consumption. Right, and also inform the consumers about the potential consequences of excessive drinking. Right. The other thing that we can also do around education, is to make sure we incorporate it as part of the education programs. Right, and across some of the markets, ABAPI members, some of the ABAPI members, we have also been working closely with the government. So just to give you an example, and with the British government, we have incorporated a SMASH program, which is actually, to your point about storytelling. So it's actually an arts theoretical kind of performance that they do and incorporate it as part of the curriculum, so that the students can understand what it means, to go through that level of peer pressure as they're growing up, being pressured to drink alcohol before they actually reach the legal drinking age, right? For them to understand the harmful effect of alcohol on minors, right? And also what can they do in that sort of situation, right? They need to be educated and well informed about that. The other great examples that we have done is, to partner also with the government in terms of incorporating programs on drink driving, right? So with the Department of Transportation, for example, and some of the governments, we are able to include that as part of the training. So when you're applying for a driving license, right, you need to undergo proper training of what drink driving means, right? And what is the moderation level when it comes to operating vehicles. So these are great examples of the industry playing a proactive role with the governmental stakeholders to supplement each other when it comes to self-regulations. Apart from that, we also try to educate other peers, so fellow partners, whether it be on-premise partners or the bartender communities. They also play a critical role when it comes to influencing the drinking behaviors within the on-premise, right? So responsible serving is another program that we do to help educate what it means, to make sure that you also age verify at the point of purchase, and also, do not serve alcohol to those who already, seem to have exceeded the moderation level when it comes to alcohol. So those are a few examples of, how the industry can, come together and play a critical role when it comes to, influencing the right behaviors amongst the consumers. And I think that's more important than just having this, governmental regulations in place on its own, right? Because you need to lessen the burden of the law enforcement authorities. They cannot be everywhere on the ground to closely monitor behaviors that are happening, within the outlets or within the stores, right? So efforts coming from the, private sector, that this is where it's really critical for all the retailers, people who are working within an industry, for them to be informed and understand the important roles that they play in helping to shape that influence.
I like that how we need to take a part, not just leave the government to do it all, because there's a part that the private sector has to play. And what really resonated with me in what you said was about the importance of responsible serving. The reason being is because technically our mothers, our nanais in the sari-sari stores have to be responsible servers And I'm sure that the Philippines is not the only example where micro stores are present. You have them in Indonesia, you have them in Thailand, you have them in other stores. What can we also help the nanays on that level? As you could see, I'm not sure if you understand, she was speaking the vernacular, but sometimes they have to use their own techniques to be able to ensure that people follow responsible drinking or underage drinking. What can you share also with some of the nanays here, some of the sari-saris or owners of what they can do to ensure that responsible drinking? What have you learned? You know, there must be some sort of emotional or social cues that they can pick up from you.
Actually, I've seen very good materials, and this is about the storytelling piece, right? I've seen promotional materials to encourage the right behaviors across the sellers and within the retailer segment, right? What we usually see in the bigger kind of corporate retailers, they have a very structured way of age verifying process in place, right? But when it comes to smaller stores, smaller outlets, like sari stores, which is very much part of the culture and the community,
exactly.
right? So it's a lot harder because everyone knows everyone, and sometimes your dad is sending the kid, the titos is sending the kids to pick up some alcohol products, right? So I think it requires that storytelling effort to shift the behavior of the store owners and also the sellers as well. I've seen great materials being developed, to actually tell the story of what you need to do when a kid is being sent into the store, when it's clearly a minor, what you need to, how to respond, and how do you make sure that you put in place that verification method in a structured way.
I guess it's also very important that our nanays, our sari-saris, our owners also have access to that storytelling technique, so maybe it might be able to help them a bit more. And of course, they have to do they have to do what they can, I guess, to maintain both business, but at the same time regulation. I mean, that's always, sometimes it might be competing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's right.
Competing interests as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nanay Victoria, sa'yo naman po, what are I guess my question is,